What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Sessions live right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Albert Albanese, as if there would be anyone else. And I figured that I got an hour, and I wanted to talk to you guys about some wrestling, like usual. So I figured, hey, why not? I'm just gonna go live. I kind of really didn't broadcast it too much to say that I was gonna do it, but I figured, why not? Sorry, I got something on my glasses to start off with, but yeah, so it's been a little bit. Unfortunately, we didn't get to catch up. With a lot of you guys, I didn't get to catch up on Monday. Unfortunately, Dave and I weren't able to go live. True Sinister, what's up, man? No notification. YouTube's been crazy sometimes. Dave's suffered from the same thing sometimes too. I feel like sometimes we go live and there is no notification sent out. I don't know why. But I'm glad that you're able to be here. Hey, Shap, what's up? I just saw you on randomly. So it's a good thing you were randomly on YouTube, because if not, you wouldn't have had any idea. But Shap, True Sinister, thank you guys for being here. 3 thumbs up already. I love you guys. I really appreciate it. So yeah, like I was saying, unfortunately, Dave and I would usually catch up with you guys on a Monday. That's where you usually here. I'm usually on the Dave Knows Wrestling channel doing that live stream, but unfortunately we weren't able to get together yesterday, so I figured I'd come on out here and talk to you guys about some stuff for a little bit. One of the things that that's been I got it through my sub box. Well, look, listen, I don't know what oh, now the notification came. Well, better late than never, I guess. But YouTube be crazy. But one of the things I did want to start talking about, Harry Flynn, what's up, buddy? Recently we keep seeing this whole back and forth between Jericho and Triple H and stuff. They're talking about the quote unquote war, and Triple H saying that hey, look, there was no war. We were just doing what we were doing. What's up, Degenerate? How are you, buddy? And Jericho, kind of said, well, if that was the case, how come you switched nights to go up against us? And, I know Jericho says this stuff to probably rally the fan base, and that's what Jericho's good at. And we all know Jericho's my favorite wrestler. Inigo, yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. In all honesty, I was working out before, and I just didn't feel like changing into anything else. So, yeah. Yeah, Shap, I do. I actually just recently got this redone not too long ago. Unfortunately, my camera's not too great, but yeah, it's that's it right there. And I have that one too. WG Phil, what's up, buddy? So yeah, so we talk about the Super Ermac. How are you, man? Yeah, and I think you're right, Harry. I think that's what it was. I think Jericho likes to rally the fan base, and he wants to get Triple H's goat a little bit. No pun intended. But, I think it's, one of those things of, well, how come you try to counter-program us? Well, we all know that from the start, NXT was there all the time. You know what I mean? NXT was on the Tuesday night time slot for the longest, on the Wednesday night time slot for the longest time. Whether or not they were on cable, they were still there. EJK, King Super, what's up, guys? You're fired by Eric Bischoff, EJK. No, I don't have a Hurricane Helms tattoo. I have a Green Lantern tattoo. Nice, Harry. I should actually get that Titus Elite. I do need one. I only have his basic. But yeah, I think that, we're, yeah, things are good. Things are good. I'm just going to actually grab something to drink here real quick. So my throat's a little dry. But, yeah. AJ Envoy, how are you, buddy? It's an Arnold Palmer iced tea, by the way. I'm not cool enough to drink beer. Actually, maybe I should have had maybe I should have had one, but whatever. Yeah, AJ, I'm back. I'm here. So yeah, so that's what I kind of wanted to, I wanted to get out. I think that this is like one of those things where AEW kind of just like begs for the attention of the WWE sometimes, and I don't understand why. I mean, if I'm AEW, I'm trying to push myself away from WWE as far as I possibly can. Oh, may the 4th be with all of you guys. I've been watching Star Wars all day today. Which elite is the world slide of the NXT for Titus? It's the world slide. I think is the only one that's out. King Base. Interesting you should bring that up, because I actually think that for the first time ever since I launched this YouTube channel, I might bring back something that I did years ago, just here live. Just here. I don't know if we're going to do it live, or if I'm going to do it live, or if we want to do if you want to do it pre-recorded. We're going to try to figure it out. But me and my best friend used to co-host a show called the Geek Guy Podcast, and we did a couple of video versions. It's out there on YouTube somewhere. If you look, you'd really have to look hard to find it. As well as my older original podcasts are out there somewhere too on YouTube. I believe they're on the Cosblog YouTube, so they're all out there. But we used to do a Geek Guy podcast. It would be all about like pop culture stuff, and yeah, we were thinking. I'm thinking about having me and him do a whole thing about the entire first season of Invincible. So keep your eyes out for that. May the 4th be with you all. Big Blue Attack, what's up, man? And King Base, I'm still in touch with Avi. I'm gonna try to see if we can do our football show again. But AJ Envoy. So this is one of the big things I wanted to talk about. So Eva Marie, as we all obviously see, is coming back to WWE. On Monday night, last night, they showed the teaser, and it was just her in a leather outfit on a hood of a car. And here we go again, Albert going on about it. Well, I wasn't going on. I was just saying I'm going to do it its own separate show. But yeah, so everybody then it's all like, I can't believe they fired Chelsea Green and they fired Mickie James and the Iconics when they are just going to go and just re-sign Eva Marie. Look, I don't think that those things are mutually exclusive. I think Eva Marie was signed with WWE. I think that they've finally found a spot creatively where they can finally put her in and figured out the right thing to do with her. I think she was just waiting to debut. Thank you, King Base. She's been signed since October. From what I understand, too. I've read that, too. Right, exactly, AJ. That's the thing. That's why I hate wrestling fans, because they they just equivalate things in their mind for some reason and think that they're completely mutually exclusive when that isn't the case. Yes, WG Phil, exactly. The same thing that King Base had just said. She did. Eva Marie, all I have to say is about it is yeah, 100% Shop. That's what everybody's saying. It's one of, look, she's been signed since October. It wasn't that they fired them and they just like, well, it's a good thing we got all that money that they, what's it called? We're going to save now for that big giant Eva Marie contract we're going to sign. No. Oh, True Sinister, that's a different story, but whatever. But look, and I've said this before, I actually had a conversation with somebody earlier. Despite everything, there is money in Nia Jax. There is, and I'm not really going to say, I can't get into that right now because that would take over the entire stream, but there is. I get it. Yes, AJ Envoy. Yes, that's what I was going to say. We also don't know what role she's coming back in. She said in that promo, I know it's very distracting. She's very beautiful. It's very distracting to see a beautiful woman in a tight leather outfit and to, really fully pay attention to what she's saying. But I was able to because I can multitask, ladies and gentlemen. And she said that she's already a star and she's coming back to help elevate things, to make other stars. That means that she could be a manager. And I think she'd be great at that. EJK, I hope that's the case. I hope she's been in ring training this entire time. I hope she's like so solid in the ring right now that like she just blows people away. Even with all her problems, is going. Well, look, true sinister. Tenille is. We'll never see Tenille back in WWE. If you follow her on social media, she's almost more about her travel blog that she's gotten sponsored, and good on her because she goes to beautiful places. As a travel blogger, and she so she's not going to go back to WWE. She has to give all that up. So I don't think she's interested in that, in going back. I think Tenille's happy in Impact. I think she gets to wrestle. I think it's something she loves to do. Tom, I am so glad you're here. Dude, real quick, we were just talking about this. Do you want to do like a special, like a whole like season 1 Invincible recap with me? Either we'll do it live or we'll pre-record it one day and put it out. I just told everybody that we used to do the Geek Guy podcast, and somebody asked me about Invincible, and I said I love that you're immediate answer. I appreciate that. All right, guys. The answer is an emphatic no. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Not just you, me and you. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So we're down. So this is actually happening, guys. You got confirmation. You guys asked about Invincible before. You have confirmation. Tom and I are going to do a recap of the first season of Invincible. We've only watched every episode together multiple times and separately multiple times. I think it's time we can just sit down and just talk about the whole thing. And yeah, exact. I'm sorry, who just said that? King Super. Yeah, look, this is the other thing. And, all of these things just bring me back to the central point. Oh, King Base, you found the old ones. Awesome. Thanks, man. See, there you go. I told you they were out there somewhere. 3 times each, and the first 4 times. Yeah. Man. Yes. Cosblog TV. Yep, that's it. So yeah. That Mortal Kombat thing actually just threw me. It was actually pretty funny. So yeah, that's something we're gonna do. Yeah, and look, Harry, I get it, but they hated her because WWE tried to shoehorn her into a role that she wasn't ready for. She was never ready to be a wrestler. If they would have just made her a personality, it's fine. And see, I don't think so. You also have to understand, I think even Marie's got like 4 million Instagram followers. That's a whole another set of eyes that gets to be on the WWE. Whether that works or it's not, or it doesn't, if she has diehard fans that are Eva Marie fans outside of being wrestling fans, King Base, I probably had a worse mic back then, actually. But there's money in her. WWE didn't do it the right way, and maybe they'll do it the right way this time. Yeah, exactly, AJ. You would sworn that with this reaction that Eva Marie murdered like 10 people with her coming back. Indigo, what do you San Antonio for what on Thursday? And thank you. And that's the thing, EJK. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt here. Let's give WWE the benefit of the doubt. Look, what we're overshadowing here is what we're overshadowing right now is the fact that Raw was good last night. Oh, dude, go to SeaWorld. SeaWorld's awesome. I went to the one in Florida. Right, exactly, Harry Flynn. She has fans from, she does TV movies, she does fitness modeling, she brings in a different audience. And that's the thing. If you just give her the opportunity to look, last night's Raw, I was so mad I didn't get to watch it with you guys because I enjoyed it. I really did. I don't know if anybody else out there did, But I really enjoyed it. It was very centered, based about around the tag team division. King Kaito, what's up, man? No one apologize for being late. But yeah, RK Bro, yes, exactly. They're really concentrating on their tag team division. AJ Styles and Omos open up the show against the New Day. I know that they broke up Benjamin and Cedric, but I think it was a smart thing to do. I think they were floundering as a team, being out of the Hurt Business. Oh, Inigo, I understand the money thing. That's totally always the thing with me. It's funny. Everybody was really, really, really upset with Randy Orton and Riddle. RK Bro, like 2 weeks ago. RK Bro, that's the stupidest thing. It's gonna suck. This is awful. WWE doesn't know what they're doing. And the next week it's Riddle and Randy Orton were like the best part of the show. This is why I hate wrestling fans. WWE could put out like the greatest angle in the world, and they would just be like, well, it's WWE, they're gonna mess it up anyway. Doesn't matter what they do. They're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. A lot of these tag team mix up angles don't really work, but this one obviously is. Yeah, AJ Humble, you're 100% right. Look, WG Phil, I hope so too. I just hope if they update him, they update him. You know what you're doing, Tom. RK Bro only exists because of Randy Orton, and maybe that's the truth, but that's a good thing, isn't it? Mr. J, how are you, man? Two breakups so close together, I don't like it. Look, I get it, but you know what? They were going to flounder together as a tag team. They obviously weren't going to get pushed again as a tag team. They were pushed as a tag team because of the Hurt Business, and now not associated with them. They lost their identity, and they weren't gaining one. And Cedric is too talented of a guy to waste right now in this, at this time to capitalize on the Hurt Business right there. Thank you, Kaito. I'm the same way. I'm okay with him going solo. I think it's a right thing to do. Harry, I think it already is. I think everybody's already getting a kick out of RK Bro. And I think it's going to be fun. I hope they win the tag titles. If I'm being honest, I don't even care. Look, if they're going to be the ones to take down like Omos and Styles, fine. Not right away, but let them be a team for a little while. But the tag team division's heating up on Raw. It's funny how nobody really cared. And here's the other thing. This is the thing that bothers me about wrestling fans more than anything else. We saw that, with the recent, not release, parting of the ways of Andrade and WWE. We see that, wrestling fans are like, I can't believe they screwed that up. I can't believe how bad they dropped the ball. I can't believe this is, it's the most unbelievable thing in the world. And then they don't go out and support, actually, I'm reading the comments. I almost lost my train of thought. But, it's like they just, they don't care after that. Harry, I actually hated that. It's not even pacing it. It is what it is, but the tag team division's heating up, and, everybody talks about how, that's what I was getting at. Everybody talks about how, like, Andrade didn't get used right, and it's an outrage. I can't believe it. It's the worst thing ever. He was so great. But everybody was saying that Raw was the worst it's ever been when Andrade was on the show for, getting serious TV time. And Ricochet was getting serious TV time. And Ali was getting, serious TV time. When all these guys they're like, WWE dropped the ball with them. When they were getting screen time, you were screaming that it was the worst Raw you've ever seen. So now all of a sudden, they drop the ball with them when it's WWE's fault? No. And now everybody complained about Raw this week, but you saw who got the attention. Who got the attention this week? The tag team division. Everybody said the WWE has no tag team division. They opened with the tag title match. They had what's their names? The Lucha House Party on there. Viking Raiders are, have just come back and reformed. We have RK Bro. There's so much going on in the tag team division. And now everybody was like, oh, well, that's the worst thing ever. It's terrible. Raw was terrible this week. You got Gulak and Garza, two guys we haven't seen being featured. They get a featured match. Nobody cares. They're saying it's the worst thing ever. But when these guys get furloughed, get laid off in 2022, and everybody's talking about they dropped the ball with these people. No, it's you people complaining about the fact that these people were the worst people. This Raw was the worst ever when they finally featured these people. Yes, EJK, RK Bro, Randy Orton, and Riddle. You're 100% right, AJ. Look, we're going to get into the whole AEW and Impact partnership in a couple of minutes. That's a whole other thing. But, yeah. I know you feel with people who don't care about Andrade, even though they care about him leaving. I'm invested with Andrade versus Kenny Omega because... No, and look, I believe so too, Kaido. I think that he is an incredibly talented wrestler. I really liked it. I really, really enjoyed... Tom, Raw is... See, that's the thing. I enjoyed Raw this week, but a lot of Twitter didn't. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what that was in reference to. Unfortunately, Indigo, but Riddle can wrestle, so whatever. The obsession with in-ring work rate at this point is sad. I know it's important, but it's not freaking everything. In a lot of cases, it's not the most important thing. Yeah, 100% true. Jim, you could not be more correct. See, Tom agrees. But yeah, that's my thing. Here we are looking. You want these guys to be featured, they get featured, and all you're doing is crapping all over the WWE for featuring them. I did as well. Almost is all right. He can talk on the mic. WG Phil, he's a work in progress, but from what he's already doing, I like it. I think he's doing great. But they're putting an emphasis on the tag team division. This is something that everybody has been wanting them to do. Lukewarm take alert. You know what wrestling fans hate more than WWE? Other wrestling fans. Unless they're like-minded, and then they love each other. If they're like-minded, forget about it. Then it's like a love fest. Like those people who actually watch JD from New York and take that guy seriously, like those people that are going to stick together because they have this, I've never gotten out of my mom's basement mentality about life. So, it is what it is, It's just, that's just the way it is. If they're like-minded, they're going to just love each other. But they're always going to mutually gang up to hate on something else, and that's when wrestling fans love each other. When they, get together to gang up on something else, that is the strongest wrestling bond you'll ever find. Ridiculous. Hate brings people together. Rated RKO right now, Indigo. It's still rated RKO. I mean, RK Bro it remains to be seen how long this is going to last. So, I know, Jim. I know. Now we all know. So yeah, you have the WWE now focusing on that. Is the tag team? I'm assuming so, Tom. So anyway, to switch gears a little bit, we talked about a little bit before about Impact. Actually, let's say Shap. Yeah. It's actually a really good explanation for it. I kind of got that vibe. It's like that, like, oh, like that's the reaction you want to have to it, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, join me, brother. Let's gather to watch this 2014 disc of ROH Final Battle. Oh no, wait, you don't agree with me that the Great Sasuke was the best wrestler of all time? Get out of my house, me problem. That EJK, I'll be sure to probably not watch wrestling with you then if that's the case. It's not who you use, but how. Imagine if Ricochet or Kofi mounted offense on Brock. Tristan said that, yeah, there's some merit to that. I agree. I absolutely agree. There's absolutely some merit to that. You would take rated RKO in a wrestling match over rated RKO. Yeah, absolutely. Right now, yeah. Degenerate, I don't know if he is or not, but I'm assuming he still is because I keep seeing him, tweet about things and people still talk about him like he's actually like intelligent in some way. Jim, I'm scared to even answer that because I don't have any idea where you're going to take that. Yeah. King Base, no, I don't think that Edge is a better wrestler than Riddle. I think Riddle's a better pound for pound. He's a better wrestler than Edge. I just think that right now we haven't seen anything enough of rated of RK Bro for me to sit there and say that they'd in any way be as good as rated RKO. Rated RKO for me was great. Well, Dave knows wrestling. That's why True said this there. But you're right. Yeah, exactly, Shap. But I do enjoy it. I actually, to answer the question, I do enjoy Reigns' new theme. Sure, Jim. We can definitely start our own wrestling league. Oh my goodness. Nobody in the world should ever see that, Jim. That is terrible. Oh, absolutely, Harry. I'm not saying that. Look, I like Riddle though. I enjoy Riddle. I enjoy his character and everything like that. But I look, it's just King Base Jimmy. It's just the way Jimmy is. I don't think so, True Sinister. I think that certain people will equate one another, but I look. I don't think. I hate you, Tom. Look, I don't think that Riddle is hampered by it in any way. I think there are wrestling fans that will make it seem like a bigger deal than it really is. But if they liked him, they're going to like him. If they don't, they don't. That's just going to be the end of it. King Base, you're not wrong. EJK, that's what they really should do. But, I don't know. I feel like, video game music is something that they should be basing some of these wrestling themes off of. Actually, that's something that Tom and I actually have talked about in the past. And now Dennis is here. Oh, boy. WG Phil, I don't hate that. I don't even know what to say to you anymore. Dennis, to answer your question, basically yes. So, but yeah, look, that's the thing. Look, at the end of the day, we have you have these guys that WWE is trying to feature, that they're trying to do good with, and if WWE would be smart, they can capitalize on it. But let's switch over from WWE and let's go to AEW and Impact. Look, there's been a lot of things that people have been saying about the AEW and Impact partnership. And a lot of people have been saying that it's been mutually beneficial so far. But Chris Jericho, and this is, of course, unfortunately, all coming down to me disagreeing with my favorite wrestler. But, Chris Jericho, once again, has said that he doesn't think that he would ever go to an Impact taping, and AEW is getting out of did I know your dad was a wrestler, Tom, or did I think your dad was a wrestler? Jimmy, that's violent. That's very violent. But oh, that makes sense, Tom. That makes sense. But yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, Daly's place, yes. But like, I don't understand the idea of of what Jericho's like. That we're getting all of this stuff out of. So yeah, Jericho basically said he would never go to Impact and wrestle. He would never wrestle in Impact. He feels like it doesn't make any sense to wrestle in Impact. So it's because it's like almost like he almost basically said he was like, I would never subject myself to going on and Impact in front of no audience and wrestling. And I was like, that's kind of a messed up thing to say about a place that your company has a partnership with, and that's the thing. I don't feel like AEW gets anything out of this deal. Look, some of you are creepy. Yeah. These are my real life friends, Inigo Montoya. That's why they're creepy. So, but yeah, that's it's one of the that's the thing. Like I don't. What is Impact gaining out of this? Is Impact gaining anything substantial out of this? All they're doing is they had their world champion lose to AEW's world champion. They have two of their guys featured on AEW programming, and Jericho also said that he doesn't think that Impact stars should be on AEW television because AEW has their own roster that they have to worry about. So what does Impact get out of this? I mean, that makes sense, Shap Shap. And King Kaido, I agree. And that's the thing. It's like this isn't a partnership. They're working together. Impact is just getting raked across the coals. And Harry, they're not getting it. Look, their pay-per-view did get buys. I will give Impact that. Kenny Omega fans bought the pay-per-view. Inigo Montoya, I absolutely don't. I love my real life friends, as crazy and creepy as they seem. But yeah, they should have let. Thank you, WG Phil. How Deanna would be so great right now and be such a good challenge for Shida. My God, but I don't understand. Like, there's so much they can get out of this relationship, and AEW's just making their the choices that AEW is making is just to take advantage over there in one end and not reciprocate on the other. Thank you, WG Phil. It was just a way for them to be able to get Gallows and Anderson on AEW. That's what they wanted, and then it's turned into we can make Kenny the belt collector, and then we can make Kenny win all the belts, and we can. It's okay. We can totally make Impact let Kenny win their world title. What does that do for Impact? I mean, it does nothing. I mean, the views thing is like they've had episodes where Kenny Omega was advertised and they got some of the lowest views they've ever gotten. And then, the other thing is that, I mentioned that and Dave was like, well, they're more about Twitch. They're trying to cultivate their thing on Twitch. That's all well and good, but they still have a TV show to worry about. And they still have a contract to uphold. And you still want people to watch on TV. So why wouldn't you if the ratings aren't coming in this, what is Impact gaining out of this deal at all? Exactly, Kaido. If that's the case, I'm like, hey, look, just let me use them. And I'm sure Impact would have been like, sure, you can use them. Tony Khan was like, all right, Tina, here's the plan. We'll get your World Heavyweight title, exposure for Kenny Omega, and the dignity of your stars. You get to expose the Good Brothers. Yeah, EJK, that's basically it. We also made Tony Khan an asshole heel who had him bury Impact every week with Schiavone. Exactly. It's one of those, and that's the thing. It's one of those things where he was like, I never want to be on the camera in front of the camera. I never want to do it. I never want to be a character. And he's on Impact every week because I know he's a fan. It's fun for him, which is fine. Just admit that that's the case, and that's cool. Yeah, exactly, True Sinister. Every week you get AEW ads on Impact, and they don't give Impact any time to put ads on their show. Meanwhile, their talent is going on that show. Your talent is the world champion of another show, and you're not even broadcasting the fact where you can even see that because there is no benefit for AEW. WG Phil, if I was Impact, I would have called it off. It's like the whole concept is crazy. I think we're getting to a point. Yeah, the whole deal is a troll. I agree, True Sinister. AEW needs to worry about the Jaguars winning the Super Bowl before they can move to England. That's you're not wrong, Dennis. I should, Jim. I should actually run the whole place, honestly. And that's the thing, Shap. So here's the thing. Everybody is, crapping on WWE. Well, they don't work well with other companies, and they'll be like, oh, well, they worked with Evolve. No, they bought Evolve. No, they bought Evolve when Evolve, almost folded because of the pandemic. They didn't buy Evolve because, they wanted to buy Evolve. They bought them to keep them in business. And what if AEW buys Impact? Are they just as bad as WWE? They didn't work together with them. They just did it just to, make fun of, they just did it just like to get exposure or whatever the friggin' excuse they'll come up with. Poor TNA, I feel like it's the one kid who does whatever the other kids tell them to do and just gets some attention and call. I can't crap on that. The same EJK, like I get that. I do. I think that Impact is just Impact's in a place where they're just trying to get exposure to rub anywhere they can. And that's fine. But you can't also make your promotion look second rate. And that's what they're doing. Let's talk about WWE buying MLW. Inigo Montoya, I didn't hear they were going to buy it. I heard that they were going to just pay. I'm sorry. Whoa. King Base. Good luck, man. Go kill that. I know you got this, man. You're going to kill the interview. WWE helped ECW for every years. Yeah. No. No. True Sinister, you're 100% right. WWE did the same thing with the NWA. The next APA. But yeah, they did the same thing with the NWA for a little while. They did it with it was AAA. In the Royal Rumble in what in 1995. Yeah. King Kaido. I just want to see Jacob Fatu in WWE at this point. I really do. But yeah, like they did this a lot, and the other company got more exposure from the WWE by being on WWE programming, not the other way around. That's the idea. Here's a good example. Dave has me on his channel, right? I get more exposure from being on Dave's channel. If Dave said, Albert, I would love to partner with you, I'll just come on your channel. He could bring viewers over for me, to me, but not all of his viewers are going to come over there just because he went over there. But all of Dave's viewers are going to tune in when Dave goes live. So now I get to sit next to Dave on Dave's channel, and all the people who like me can come over here and tune in to me when I do my live stream like I am right now. That's the way it works. You make it mutually beneficial. The WWE would feature guys from AAA, and there you go, Degenerate, NWA, New Japan, All Japan, CMLL, Michinoku Pro, ECW, and I think you said NWA in there. Like they worked with all these companies and had those talents on their show, and told them where you can go and find their. Now you can go and look up to find out where that show is to go and watch those guys because they've gotten exposure here. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Not take your talent, put them on the other show, and just be like, oh, we're gonna make them just beat up all your guys. It's okay. It's cool. We're gonna put 2 of your guys with him. Like the Earthquake and the other wrestler, I can't remember the incident happened during a cross promotion. I don't. Albert does have a figure. What kind of a figure are we talking about? Harry Flynn, I did not hear that. So yeah, like that's the thing. I don't understand Eddie's last ROH he had the Intercontinental title with it. I actually didn't know that, Degenerate. I actually did not know that. But yeah, like, look, like, that's the way the wrestling world works. And Impact is just getting, crapped all over when it comes to it. Like I said, this is a good piece of exposure for, for AEW fans to go over. But not every AEW fan is going to go over. There's a lot of times where somebody would be like, okay, when we'll use an example. Actually, we'll go with the territory thing. Ric Flair was the heavyweight champion. He would defend his NWA championship around the territories. They wanted Ric Flair to come to each territory because that drove business for that territory. And now, because Ric Flair was there and everybody wanted to see Ric Flair, they sat through the rest of this promoter's show. If they liked what this promoter was doing, they're going to come back next week. They didn't send their guys over to other NWA things and try to be like, yeah, come on over and watch us too. That's not how wrestling works. It's never how it worked. And that's what Impact is getting. And that's AEW is not doing anything to help Impact at all. They are getting shafted on this deal, like you wouldn't believe. The only people that are on there from AEW, from Impact, are the Good Brothers. And I think that people just think that the Good Brothers are in AEW now. I don't think they have any idea, especially now and the crazy thing is that, look, I like FinJuice, but Impact is nuts by taking the titles, the tag team titles off of Gallows and Anderson right now. That was the only exposure Impact was getting on AEW, was having Gallows and Anderson wear those titles out to the ring with them. WWE sent Christian Cage to an Impact pay-per-view, used Impact footage on the network, let Rhino go there during the non-compete clause phase, mentioned them on it. Sure, they did. Absolutely, they did. True Sinister. Yeah. But the Impact, the Christian Cage was so they can induct Ric Flair into the Hall of Fame. It was, I'll get right on that, Jim. We're just saying WWE doesn't mention other companies. Well, then let's look at every single footage courtesy of, which I'm pretty sure includes Stardom. Shap, like you wouldn't believe, because they credit other people when they want to, when they want to introduce somebody, to their audience. Chicken parm, Dennis. Yeah, exactly. Kind of. What was that? Like, and that's the thing. I think it's like Impact is now like, oh, well, we have this working, relationship with Japan. Well, we got to put the belts on the guys from Japan so we can show that their guys are going to be taken seriously over here. Like, what are you guys doing? The exposure you were getting was bringing your tag titles on Impact. I mean, on AEW. You took the titles off of those guys? Are you crazy? Let FinJuice keep beating up other tag teams. Let them get a title shot when the Good Brothers aren't on AEW every week. AEW should have forced Sammy to be on Impact. Something, look. Something. And yes, true. So Sami Zayn did mention AEW. And when WWE mentioned CNA more than EJK, you're not wrong, man. That's right. Austin did interview Jericho. And that is that's exposure for AEW. They had an AEW guy on WWE programming. It wasn't the other way around, though. Why? Because the WWE is smart, and they know that by sending their talent over to the other show, that doesn't necessarily mean people will follow them over. If they try to make a territory type, what would be the main title? Would it be the AEW belt? There's just too much to think about if they're trying to do this. But look, King Super, if that's the case, if that's what they're trying to do, fine. Make it like, if AEW is the parent company, if it's the AEW world title, fine. But then AEW would have to have two world titles. They'd have to have their regional world title and their actual, company world title. Because the regional world champion can defend it anywhere. Yeah, WG Phil, exactly. Flair got into the Hall of Fame with the Horsemen. Now, for me, David Finlay is another person who would absolutely benefit if he went to the Impact instead of wrestling in the X division. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. The company was SWS with Earthquake. Oh, okay. There you go. Harry Flynn always coming with the facts. Pretty sure if WWE used one of their network shows where they literally got AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett, Sting to talk about their time in Impact, even talked about the Octagon ring. Yeah, they did. And yes, Sting is in AEW, Dennis. But FinJuice allows to promote a promotion that currently doesn't exist. I'm not sure what you're trying to get out there, Indigo. That would make sense because there are some people in New Japan who really would work better if they went to Impact instead. I agree. Tom, there's look, you gotta understand, every company has its own set of belts. So a lot. I want Bullet Club versus the Elite. I'm down. I mean, I'm okay with that. AEW sucks with this promotion thing. AEW sucks with promoting other places. They didn't promote a thing for the beginning. Support for John Moxley versus Kenta, and they did nothing for Rich Swann versus Kenny. Exactly. If you're gonna have your other guys featured on the other program, at least point out that they're gonna do it. Like, it's horrible. And all these AEW marks are defending them like they're doing the best thing ever. Yes, exactly what Dennis said, Tom. Yes, he is. And he's 60 and he can barely, and he did look okay when he did wrestle, but I mean, he's still 60, but I kind of wish AEW was just a bigger version of PWG, like let its competitors from the whole independent circle wrestle on one big card, expose indie darlings. EJK, they can do that. They can absolutely do that. They can feature those people. And that would be great for them. But the better thing for them to do, and that would be the better thing for them to do. Yes, Gorilla Monsoon is dead, Jim. Oh, yes. You're right, Inigo. That the company that shouldn't be named because they're a bunch of dicks. I hate when fans act like lawyers for companies who don't pay them. Of course. That's wrestling fans for you in a nutshell. An electric cage match? It sounds like your dream, Tom. Only a tag team so far, Dennis. So yeah, I've just had it up. I've just had it up to here with these people actually literally sitting here and defending, AEW's involvement with Impact right now, because to me, it doesn't show me anything. They featured Kenta on AEW one time. The forbidden door is open, and that was it. Done, gone. Like, what the hell? But Impact doesn't have any stars outside of Moose, but Moose will most likely go to WWE. WG feel that there's a chance of that, but he might also stay at Impact. He had chances to go to WWE or at one point, and he didn't. So, the veteran, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Was AEW just PWG with a Nitro vibe? It kind of is. Dennis, no, they had an electric chair match in WCW. Yeah, that happened. But yeah, that's my thing. I just don't understand why anybody would, in their right mind, want to do business with AEW unless it was WWE, because WWE would know how to get exposure for themselves out of AEW. They know okay, we're gonna put an AEW star on our programming. No. We'll lend you some of our guys. Like WWE's smart. If you're gonna use it's protecting kayfabe as an excuse, why can't you just go, oh yeah, have you seen Moxley? Yeah, he proved why our wrestlers are the best, and he'll do it again with Kenta. Exactly, Shap. Like, why wouldn't you? I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you want to expose the fact that you have one of your guys going somewhere else? What is wrong with them? And the funny thing is that Kenny Omega is doing a belt collector gimmick. What are the belts doing? Like, where are the belts from? They're not even mentioning it. He could just be coming out with a bunch of like nonsensical titles strapped to his shoulders, and would people know the difference at this point? True Sensor, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think AEW. I mean, look, ROH was the ROH was like the grandfather of that. I understand where you're going with that. But WWE and TNA, at the time, then Impact picked their bones clean of all their top talent. Then ROH became like this place where, there was just nobody there anymore. And I think AEW then found that a lot of these, indie stars at the time, kind of used ROH as like their in to wrestle in WWE, but didn't really make it their home base. So they wanted to just formulate the home base. And I think that's what they did. And look, it hurt ROH, but ROH has been hurting ever since WWE and Impact realized they existed. EJK, I don't even know. I think they did mention that Thunder Rosa at one point was the NWA World Champion, but that's it. But at the time, I don't think that NWA was in operation. But now they are. So my thing is that is Thunder Rosa now officially just with AEW, or did she go back to NWA? And if she does go back to NWA, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, what's the dynamic there? Are they going to mention that she was in Impact or not? I'm sorry, in AEW or not? I don't know. Oh, WG Phil, I like the Ted DiBiase and Grimes gimmick. Jim, that's going to be hard because WCW doesn't exist anymore. Dennis, he can't sign anywhere yet because they have a 90-day no compete clause. So, Jim, just get him to wrestle you if he lives in Bayonne. He's not far. King Kaido, that's not a bad idea. I mean, that would be cool. But that's the thing. Everybody's like, you'll see, the other company's going to get the rub by having their guy beat the almighty great Kenny Omega. And if they beat the greatest wrestler in the world, Kenny Omega, then the whole company will get a rub because one of their wrestlers beat the greatest wrestler in the world, Kenny Omega. Like, these Omega fans are the fucking worst, man. They're the ones that are worse than everybody else. All these guys that think that he's the be-all, end-all right now are actually the worst wrestling fans alive. What was that? Disco Inferno is on a podcast these days, Dennis. He does a podcast with Vince Russo. I told somebody I feel the top 5 are AEW, Impact, NWA, ROH, and MLW. True says if that's the way you feel, it's fine. Look, opinions are fine. If that's the way you feel, it's all right by me. If I could go back in time, I'd make Kenny Omega the ace of AEW and take his place as the best in the world as he beats more opponents and slowly descends into madness and betrays everyone. That would have been better than what they actually really did, EJK. When they, I mean, look, I'm okay with them putting the belt on Jericho. 2-3 months tops, have Omega take it off of him and then just have him run with it. But, who am I? AEW didn't, just try to feature ex-WWE guys and push them at the top of their program to try to, get the rub from them, right? No, they never did that. It wasn't the 2 ex-WWE guys with insane amounts of, what's it called? Buzz behind them about leaving WWE. WG Phil, I do enjoy that too. I also just think that WWE just needs to involve more. They need to involve more talent just on Raw in general. Like they did it this week. They had more TV time for a lot more talent, and they should just keep doing that. Just get more talent involved, and then there doesn't need to be a cycling out. They just more talent will just be around. And yeah, Shap, they absolutely did. You should wrestle Chuck Wepner, Jim. Oh, Sasha, WG Phil, you're right. Sasha stands are up there too, but Kenny Omega is even worse. I think they're worse. Yes, Tyson did work with AEW a couple of times. Degenerate, it's Kenny by far right now. I think. By Brian, do you mean Brian Alvarez? Because if you're talking about him, he might be number 1. But no, it's Kenny Omega fans. Sasha's probably a close number 2, though. Top 5, American non-WWE. Oh, okay, that's fair, True Sinister. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's about right. Shep, yes, you should. I have a belt too, and I'm going to be doing the same. Jericho should be the first Impact champ, then Kenny. After Kenny, I go with Pac, Hangman, and MJF. EJK, I'm fine with that. Look, and I said this multiple times, and I will never, ever, ever, ever go back on it because it still has the potential to happen. Adam Hangman Page and MJF have the capability of being WWE's version of Rock and Austin. They have all the tools and the talents to do so. If they would stop, oh God, just stop making Adam Page look so weak lately. Did someone tell Jimmy? Inigo, I think he knows that. The greasy guy with the long hair that was the face of ECW. Are you talking about Rob Van Dam? That's the only thing person I can think of. You and fucking Chuck Wepner. Don't you feel? I'm not sure. I hope so. You know, that's the other thing. You know, is Mox still the New Japan U.S. champion? They don't mention that. Rhino's in Impact, Dennis. But yeah, WWE can definitely, I'm sorry, AEW can definitely benefit from some of the women that are in Impact right now. Oh, there you go. He is. Nobody, they don't mention that either, do they? I think AEW deliberately neglected the Elite so fans wouldn't bury them or were being overpushed, at least at first. True Sinister, I understand that, but that's who they're there to see. You think those fans are going to turn their backs on them? The people that they were to turn their backs on them would have been fans that wouldn't have wanted to watch AEW in the first place. Fans who want to watch AEW want to see. Oh, Jim, you're stealing my viewers. Degenerate, no. I'm not saying that they'll ever get to that level, but I'm saying they can have that kind of a feud and that kind of a history. And that could be like one of like the founding father, you know, like the founding, you know, because they can feud forever. I mean, they're so young, they can wrestle for the next 15 years. But yeah, that's my thing. Why would you not want to push those guys then? If that's what these people are there to see, give it to them. That's right. He is wrestling Yuji Nagata on TV. I'm sorry. I haven't. I'm actually a little bit behind on AEW right now. But I forgot that was a thing. But yeah, but they don't ever mention he holds that title. Again, not mentioning other companies on their program. I just don't understand it. So then there you go. Nagata's now finally they'll have a guy from the other company wrestle on their show. Yeah, exactly, True Sinister. The only time they mentioned he was champion was for that Kenta match. And what happened? Mox went over there and wrestled the match. They didn't have it in AEW. Hangman Page and MJF should wrestle for the TNA belt, with MJF coming out on top, and Hangman will win the world title and start feuding over it. I see what you're saying. I don't think they're going to let the TNA titles be defended in AEW. You can see they don't like mentioning other companies. So, Inigo Montoya, that's fair. That's fair. It's very fair. That company doesn't exist. Yes, Jimmy, I think so. Over the TNT title. Oh yeah, no. I'm all with that. I'm all about that. Let them start there, feud over that, and then move that way up. Dennis, I don't think any wrestlers in WWE have an OnlyFans account. I think Zelina Vega was the only one who tried to have one, and then she got fired. So, yeah, that's not something WWE is too fond of. So that's the thing. I just don't think that look, these companies aren't going to get the exposure of having their talent on AEW to get AEW fans to switch over to them. And, you know, they're just not doing that. They're being very selective with stuff like that. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, True says that's because Lucha Underground was so damn good. Harry Jimmy is a very weird guy. I'd pay to see that, Dennis. I would. If AEW booked as crisp as I know they could, Hangman Page versus MJF for the AEW World Title all in would have been money. Look, Kaito, I think that if they want to start them at the TNT title, I'm okay with that. But they need to, look, I think they're doing okay with MJF. They made MJF look like a big deal the entire time. Suicide is still in Impact, Dennis. But you know, they can start there. But you know, and they're doing right by MJF. He really is been looked at as a big deal. But this whole thing with Adam Page and the Dark Order, it's making them look. I don't know. It's not making Adam Page look like he could be a top star. They're certainly not booking him to look like a main eventer. So, you know, like, it's making it worse as time goes on. Drew versus Braun could have been great. I mean, a lot bigger years ago than. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, look, MJF's one of those guys that I can't say anything negative about the way AEW's booked him. Yeah, the veteran, you're 100% right. It really that is the case. Like, Adam Page should be a guy that you're pushing and not burying. Look, I get, you know, everything with Brody and stuff like that, and you know, I understand the, you know, the ramifications of that and stuff like that. But you know, Adam Page is suffering now. And he's floundering. He's got no direction. He's just another guy. And he shouldn't be that. You know, he was supposed to be in the first world title match. And look at the fall from grace, you know, there. Now, if that happened in the WWE, you think that people wouldn't be complaining on Twitter every single day about it? Oh, well, MJF, I mean, nobody likes MJF anyway. And yes, and I told you when you texted that to me earlier, I don't like Baron Corbin anymore now. Or Tommy. I still stand by it. Still don't know why they have Braun wrestle in a shirt. It looks so bad. Just go back to the wrestling entire. Chef, I don't understand why he wrestles in a shirt and then takes it off afterwards. That doesn't make any sense. Just leave it off. That whole thing just doesn't make sense to me. WG Phil, I'm inclined to agree with that. I'm very much inclined to agree with that. Look, Drew Chaser, I don't dislike Brock. I'm totally okay with Brock coming back to face Lashley. If Brock was treated like, you know, Goldberg recently was, where he came back to just to drop a match to Drew, cool. Screw it. I don't even care if Brock won. As long as Brock was going to stay there and, you know, and it made a big deal out of him beating Lashley. But I don't want to win the title. But I definitely want to see that match. Hell yeah, I'm down for that. And, you know, WG Phil, I'm thinking about it now. Maybe not go their separate ways. Maybe they could have stayed together. But I just don't think they should have had a leader. I think it should have just been like, let them just be them. And, you know, there'd be no leader. Or if anybody winds up, you know, being like the leader, it should have been somebody like Anna Jay. You know, like out of left field. It's, you know, it's still in the group, but like you would think, you know, leader, who are they going to pick? It's going to probably be like Stu Grayson, Evil Uno. I like. Sure, Jim. We'll find a spot for him. Yeah, if Brock did the job for Lashley, cool, but I don't think Brock cares about much about it anymore. I don't think so either. I think Brock knows he made his money, and I think that when a money match comes up and they call Brock and they say, this is what we want you to do, and the paycheck is right, he'll get out of there and he'll get involved. Right, King Kaido, look, either way, I just want to see it. No man has right to complain about bad wrestler names. Oh, Shap, thank you. I know. They talk about it like the WWE. I can't believe they've changed this guy's name. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. What is this? AEW literally has guys wrestle as numbers. But it's okay. It's a gimmick. And we know what their real names are. Anything to defend them. Speaking of, he can come out and throw some fake money around. Sure, Jim. He could. And WWE wants him to fight with fans. Wants who to fight with fans? I don't know. I don't know what you were talking about there, WG Phil, but yeah. Yeah, Jim, I get it. I totally got you. We'll call him Flip. I can't stand you. Oh, man. Inigo, you have to know Jimmy to get him. You just have to know him. King Kyle, look, these fake AEW fans are a nightmare. Yeah, the veteran. Look, the WWE's always changed their names. It's so that they can capitalize and they can make money off of them. That's always the way it's going to be. The Degenerate, it's what? It's been a year now, right? That Brock's been away from WWE. I like that, Chap. That's a great gimmick. They already dropped the tag, but I hate that they're hot potatoing these women's tag titles in NXT already. They're already becoming like a women's tag team appreciation trophy, participation trophy. And True Sinister, I have no problem addressing Marty Skrull. Fine by me. WG Phil, I'm sure that it was a good match. I love all four of them. I think Indy's improved leaps and bounds from where she started. But I'm glad that the Way has more titles. Now I'm happy about that. Be interesting to see if the well, I guess they really don't have a title for Austin Theory to even win, right? They're not going to put the world title on Austin Theory, so this may be interesting to see if they take all the titles. Maybe that's what they're going to try to do. Maybe Johnny's going to try to go for the world title and then pass the North American title down to what's his name? To Austin Theory. True says I'm sure he probably did. He probably can. He does have a farm. Jim, I'm sorry. I don't know if he's light enough to do that. Plus, if they take that title off of Kushida already, I'm going to be pissed. I love Kushida. I really don't hope that's not the case. I still don't think Shotzi and Ember should have won the tag belts. They aren't a duo. It's just the same problem with the main roster. Let's mess. Shap. Yeah, I get it. I see that. But you know what? There was no women's tag team division, and they kind of just had to make it on the fly. And I'm okay with the fact that they're just putting things together just to see how they work. Jimmy does own an apple farm. I agree, King Kaido. So I hope that's not the case. No, King Super. I love Austin Theory. I think he's got so much potential. Oh man, wow! It's been you know what? Time flies when you're having fun. It's been over an hour already. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna start getting ready to pack it in here. It's 10 o'clock. I have a long day of work tomorrow, unfortunately, despite the fact that I don't want to do it. But the day job calling, does call, and yeah, I think I'm gonna head on out. So thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for Jimmy and Dennis and Tom for your very odd commentary, but for keeping me company here. And I almost popped a bunch of times, Jim. You almost got me. True Sister, I do like Candice too. Kai and Gonzalez held the belts longer because they were not. Well, Shap, they had other plans for for Raquel Gonzalez. I think that's probably why. King Kaido, I hope I do. Crazy. All right. I'll see you guys later. It was good seeing you guys. Take care. Sick human being.